All right, everyone. Welcome back to Nate the World. This is my video podcast that I do from time to time on YouTube. As many of you guys know, for a little while now, I have been writing movie reviews for the Reporter newspapers, which are in South King County, just south of Seattle. Myself, for those of you who don't know, I am no longer living in Seattle. My partner and I have moved to the LA area, and I'm currently residing in North Hollywood. So the setting for you won't be that much different. You're still going to be staring at this face in a blank white wall. But from time to time, I'd like to bring some movie reviews as well as some things that I have been working on. And today I'd like to talk about what is arguably maybe the largest release for the month of November. A movie that's getting a lot of talk in the press and outside of it, as well as by those who, are the movie going public. And that, of course, is Justice League. So, this is my review that I wrote for the Reporter newspaper. I would love to hear what you thought of the movie, so just leave me a comment below. Keep it, don't be mean, or I'll delete it. It's as simple as that. But the plot for this movie is super simple. So Bruce Wayne, Batman, played by Ben Affleck, kind of has his faith in humanity restored. And it is because of the selfless act of Superman giving his life to save humanity. But Bruce has this idea that a larger threat is coming, and he has to get ready for it. And he finds an ally in Diana Prince, played by Gal Gadot, playing Wonder Woman. And she has the same belief, so they kind of set out to create an all-star team, which will become known as the Justice League. So that's basically the plot. Here's kind of my critique. So when I was a little kid, I would go to the grocery store with my mom and plop myself down in front of the magazine rack while she shopped. And if I really wanted a certain issue but didn't have enough allowance saved up, I would hide the issue behind the magazine rack and retrieve it later. My favorite superheroes were Batman and Spider-Man for different reasons. Batman because he was just a normal man called to do extraordinary things. Spider-Man because he was sort of a dork, and that's kind of how I pictured myself. Between the two major companies, DC and Marvel, I always gravitated toward DC for no reason other than I liked the characters. So in this never-ending world of comic book movies, there is a gold standard film for which I judge all movies against, and that is The Dark Knight. I believe Christopher Nolan's movie to be more than just the best superhero movie ever created. I believe it to be one of the best movies ever made. Rightly or wrongly, as I've been told, I compare every Marvel or DC movie against this standard. I have yet to see a film from either company that comes anywhere near Nolan's exceptional work. As I snuggled into my theater to watch Justice League, the memory of how The Dark Knight made me feel lingered in the back of my mind. From the beginning of this film, you can tell that it's trying to strike a sober tone. The world is without Superman and is coming to terms with what that means. For Batman, played by Ben Affleck, and Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot, this means that the oncoming threat will have to be faced without one of the strongest beings in the galaxy. From the first scene of this movie, it is apparent something sinister is coming, and it will take a powerful team to defeat it. Almost immediately, Bruce Wayne begins the challenge, the work of assembling his team. This act of pulling people together created my first major challenge with this film. When it comes to Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, there is very little character development. Unlike the Marvel Universe, those of us in the DC realm have had to rely on the comic books for these lesser known characters. We haven't had the benefit of building up to the assembling of the team. In my estimation, this was a mistake. The writers of this film do their best to give us some backstory, but it feels rushed and a little shallow. While the team is being assembled, we meet Steppenwolf. He suffers from one of my biggest complaints with all comic book movies, and that is poor villain development. Beyond a desire to destroy the world, we never learn much about these people. We have no clue what drives or motivates their violent wrath. Instead, we're asked to believe in their evil ways and move on from there. As you can imagine, pulling together a team such as this involves stroking some egos. It is in these moments this film really shines. Each one of these scenes is human and features a pretty good deal of humor. At least enough humor to save us from the persistent thought of the entire world coming to an end. In preparation for this final battle, it becomes apparent our heroes can't do it alone. They need someone with superhuman strength fighting alongside them. I won't say any more than that. I'm not one to spoil a movie. It's also one of the worst kept secrets in all of comic book movies. The final battle of this movie is pretty enthralling for a comic book movie. It is still an orgy of computer animated graphics, people flying through walls, and the usual associated drama. There is enough here, though, to keep you engaged and on the edge of your seat. As the dust settles and our heroes come together, we are left to ponder the next installment in this franchise. Whatever direction DC chooses, I hope they focus more on developing these stories and their characters. Those of us who have been longtime fans deserve that. And so when you take all of this and you put it together and you look on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being a movie I think you should absolutely skip, and a 5 being a movie that I think you need to drive to the theater right now and see, Justice League is a 3. It's a stream at home kind of movie. I would spend $14 on it, but I think it deserves to be seen. It shouldn't be skipped altogether. So there you have it. There's another movie review of mine. Be sure to subscribe for more reviews and other things that I write. I'll share them from time to time. But until next time, take care of yourself and be good to each other.